listening to IWW Radio coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today, we have The Spring with MANNY FAWCETT. MANNY.
How are you?
How are you today? And can you give our listeners a little bit of history on The Spring and how this all began?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you so much for having us. We're very excited.
Great.
I guess you could say we kind of started this band a little bit over a year ago. I'd say about a year and a half. I was in a previous band with our drummer currently, Levi Tate. We were doing some stuff in our high school. We had played music together, and we were also in show choir and stuff like that. We all actually know each other from high school. Well, 3 of the members do. Levi, Gabriel, and myself. We know each other from high school. We all just loved playing music together, and so we decided to form a band. We then found our guitarist, Matthew Rigsby, on Craigslist, and we just came together, and it formed very nicely. I started writing songs a little bit before we formed this band, and so I brought all those ideas to those guys, and we kind of put it all together into what you now hear as The Spring. We've been doing it ever since. We've been touring all throughout Central Florida. We also recently were just in Philadelphia and California, so that's what we do, man. We just play music, and we're loving it.
Perfect. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's move on to the first tune, Pursuits by The Spring.
Tell myself it's all okay to be right where I myself intend to be. So then tell me, do you think it makes me crazy that I want to sit right here and watch the world spin round around me? Something great. Take a breath, what's in the air, and say it's not too late to try hard. Trust hope, but just remember to die hard. It's not the way you say those words to me. She said it's all for you. She said over. Where have you been at all these years? Not there to wipe away my tears and tell me to pursue all the dreams that I'm having. It was just so damn hard for me to do. She said it's all for you. She said it's all for you.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And that was Pursuits by the Spring. Manny, tell our listeners a little bit how that song was born.
Well, we're here from Florida. We're some Florida boys, so we just want to bring some of that summer good time feel to anybody listening. Those vibes that you're catching in that song, we really just wrote that about how we feel during the beautiful weather that we have, and it's about just being yourself and just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the tune. As I said to everybody else, I feel it's refreshing, very, very refreshing, and what you're writing there and coming up with in it, and it just moves along. And it's like driving in a car in the summertime, and we're on our way to the beach, folks. And,
yes, that's right. Summer feels about to hit the surf.
That's right, and lovely tune. Okay, let's move on to the next one by the Spring, Color of Consciousness.
Telephone.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Manny, tell our listeners a little bit about that song and how that one was born.
Yes, sir. So, as a musician, you kind of always have the struggle of thinking, will people relate to me? Will people like what I'm putting out? Are we going to be able to make a living with what we love to do?
Yeah.
And it's kind of play on having the anxieties and, thoughts about not making it, but then kind of just getting over that and just knowing that if you continue to do what you love wholeheartedly, you will always come out on the high end and you will be able to do what you love.
Exactly. That's a great approach, and that's one that you should stick to.
Yes, sir.
Everybody wants to make it, but there's a formula. And when I say formula, there's songs that have come before anybody that has written. And I stress this with a lot of artists is that, you have to have structure. I don't mean I look at it as at this moment when you're talking about structure, I'm talking about, your verse, chorus, bridge, however you want to do it, but there's got to be some kind of structure there. Otherwise, oh my God. You know what? And another thing, you're not going to fool anybody in the industry. They know.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they hear that it's out of context or whatever you're doing, they'll just say, no, sorry.
Yep, you got to be genuine, and that's what we're all doing here in the spring. All these boys, man, we're just playing from our heart, and we always will.
Oh, that's the way to go. The spring, whereabouts are you playing? I know it's in the States, but is there any dates up in Canada coming or around the area, Buffalo or?
Well, unfortunately not yet up in Canada. However, our management and booking agency is working on getting some shows up there, so hopefully we will see you guys there soon. Other than that, for anybody over here listening in Florida, we'll be playing in Orlando at Soundbar in June. We will also be around the Melbourne area, like at the West Melbourne Band Shell and stuff, June 8th. We may play around Orlando, but a big thing that I want to stress is that song you just heard, it releases tomorrow on April 12th.
Oh, right, so they heard it here first.
Heard it here first, yes, sir.
Right.
That releases tomorrow. It's going to be on Apple Music and iTunes, wherever you listen to your music from, Spotify. You can also find it on our website at www.thespringofficial.com. We have all of our singles and our EP up there, so please take a listen. It's greatly appreciated.
Oh, that's excellent for the listeners to clue in on. A lot of bands are not set up that way, and that's what you have to do. Don't bother looking for the record deal because unless you're a major artist, they're not even going to look at you.
Exactly.
I look at it this way too: is that back when. And I'm talking, 76, 80s when I was doing this thing, you had the gentleman sitting in the chair with the cigar. And he was the one that would say, well, why don't we take a chance on it? And I just feel with the up-and-comings that they were what we call coffee goers back then, but now they're CEOs of major labels. And to me, they didn't have any idea what was going on with music. Well, if it sounded good and somebody liked it, well, let's do it. But back then, it was a decision of, why don't we try it? With the first album. And you know what? Some of them were so successful. It just took off from there. And not only that, but what I like to see come out in some bands is a live album. That way there's no mojo that's, left out. And what I mean by mojo is that, there's no, there's happy mistakes. And I don't mean something that's totally off it, but sometimes those mistakes are, they pan out. And so anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate that. We can't wait to chat with you again. Once again,